All right, so today we're diving into something really interesting. It's called Letters from Within. And, this isn't some dry instruction manual. Think of it more like a poetic invitation, a call to completely rethink how we approach creativity and working together. So let's jump right in.
Right from the get-go, it pulls you in. It doesn't say, "Hello, reader." It says, "Welcome, dear traveler." I mean, how cool is that? It's not like reading some formal academic paper, right? It's personal. It immediately sets the tone that this isn't just information you're supposed to absorb. No, it's a space, a shared space that you're personally being invited into.
Okay, so what's the big idea here? The first thing we really have to get our heads around is the core philosophy. And it's a big one. This whole thing, it's not about getting to some specific finish line. It's all about the journey, the process, the shared experience of finding things out together.
And this simple phrase, it just completely reframes how we think about collaboration, doesn't it? It's basically saying, hey, forget about the deadlines for a second, forget about the final deliverables. Instead, just focus on this idea that we're on a path together. The whole emphasis shifts, It moves from what we're making to how we are together while we're making it.
Which, naturally, leads to the next big question, right? What kind of environment is this journey happening in? And the key thing to understand is that it's not a physical place. It's an atmosphere. An atmosphere that we, all of us participating, are creating together in real time.
The text has a specific name for this, a sacred space. Now hold on, this has nothing to do with religion. It's all about psychological safety. It means creating a place where you feel free to be completely yourself, to try out new things, to experiment without that constant fear of being judged. The whole thing is built on a bedrock of trust and just being open. And this is where we get to my favorite metaphor in the whole piece. We are the weather. I just love that. Think about it. The environment isn't some static thing. It's not like walking into a pre-built room. Instead, every single person who shows up brings their own energy, their mood, their ideas, and that mix, that combination, that is the climate. We're literally shaping the atmosphere around us from one moment to the next. So if we're the weather, what kind of forecast are we hoping for? What are we aiming for? Well, the text suggests we should be creating a climate that's fueled by curiosity, not just jumping to conclusions. It should be warmed by empathy for each other, and the whole thing should be driven by that amazing thrill of discovering something new together.
Okay, so we've got the space, we've got the climate. That makes sense. But how do we actually do this? How do we navigate this kind of journey? What's the right mindset to bring?
If you think about most places we learn or create stuff, like school or even work, we automatically fall into these old roles, right? You've got the teacher, the expert who has all the knowledge, and then you've got the student, the newbie, who's just there to listen and receive it. It creates this really clear power structure, this hierarchy of who gets to talk and who's supposed to stay quiet.
But this idea, it just completely bulldozes that entire structure. It flattens it. The proposal here is that in this kind of space, every single person is a teacher and every single person is a student at the same time. Your life experience, your unique way of seeing things, the questions you have, it all has value. I mean, that's a pretty radical shift, isn't it? It just empowers everyone in the room.
So, okay, how do we actually make this happen? How do we put it into practice? It really boils down to 3 simple but super powerful actions. First up, be present. Really engage with what's happening right here, right now. Second, be open. Open to new ideas, open to things taking a weird turn you didn't expect. And finally, number 3, be curious. Always ask questions instead of just making snap judgments.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. If this is a journey, where are we going? What's the destination? What's the whole point of all this? And the answer is pretty cool. The destination isn't a place, it's an outcome.
The ultimate goal, the thing we're moving towards, is the act of creation itself. The idea is that if you can create this amazing climate, this special mindset, then you unlock the potential to make something that no one person could have ever come up with alone, something genuinely extraordinary, something deeply meaningful, something truly beautiful. You can just feel the ambition and the heart in that goal, can't you?
And that really brings us full circle, right back to the very first, most fundamental invitation. It's a call for you to just be you. It's about authenticity. You don't have to be the expert. You definitely don't need to have all the answers figured out. The only thing you have to do is show up as your whole self. Because your unique perspective, that's the most essential ingredient in the whole recipe.
We live in a world that's obsessed with plans, outlines, and knowing exactly what's going to happen. But this way of thinking asks a totally different question. It suggests that maybe, just maybe, the greatest discoveries, They don't happen when you're following a map. They happen when you're brave enough to explore uncharted territory with other people. So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. What could you discover in a space that has no map?